I'm going to speak on something which is called leadership lessons from sports. Any thoughts what this would mean, and how many of you, by the way, play any sport, football, cricket? So quite a lot of you, I'm very glad. Okay, now let me ask one more question. How many of you go out and play every day? Okay, few. How many of you play two games, that is maybe cricket and football? Very few. Okay, good. How many of you think that it's very important in your life? Not many people think that is very important in their life, but quite a few people actually go out and play. The context of this is, now that you are coming into the field of management, there are three things that which probably you have already come to know, and probably you have been told by your seniors and whatever exposure you have taken before taking this decision to join. The corporate world is becoming increasingly complex. And complexity in what terms? Companies are trying to bring down the cost. And how they are trying to do that? They are trying to give multiple roles to the same people who are working in at a certain level. Now what does that mean? That means probably if you are into marketing, marketing itself has become so vast now. There are different portfolios like key accounts, channel management, then there is an aspect of sales, then there is an aspect of business development. Now social media has become a very important tool. Then there is large account management, which is, especially in the cases of B2B relationship, business to business selling, that has become very important. This has now got very integrated with economics. So a lot of people who are into marketing, they are using behavioral economics. I don't know whether you have heard this term. It's a very important thing that now picked up to understand the social behavior of the people and then accordingly to prepare for the market needs. Especially in the automobile sector, this has played out very well. I met sometimes back a Korean guy almost 2 years back, and he is with a company called Samsung, which you must have heard. Now his role is to meet people socially and to understand that what they think about those products. Because the company realized that probably the general pattern of feedback mechanism that the company has for getting all those information may not be adequate enough to get those information. So this is the context of that complexity. Gallup is a very big consulting company which does a lot of research, and like Gallup, a lot of other organizations are now currently engaged into researching that how many people are probably going to need to be re-skilled, or probably they might end up losing their job because of technological advancement. Now this is a very important and sensitive issue, and I would like to spend a minute before I go into this. Lot of banks that you walk into now, and you are going to see use of artificial intelligence in a very big way, and that would mean the number of people that you see sitting on those chairs getting reduced by up to 60%, because Indian banks are yet to kind of have the real use of technology. Similarly in information technology industry. Now please note the fact that banking, IT sector and telecom are the three, or were the three biggest employment generators in this country. So 2 years down the line, when you go into the job market, what kind of jobs are you going to get? 2 years back, there was no role in HR which is called manager employee experience. Well, it's a very interesting role. It uses a mix of psychology, people who have done their specialization in psychology and their specialization in OB and HR. They getting into and having interaction with the employees to understand the mindset and the expectation, and accordingly to frame policies in the organization. So there is the change, the evolution that's happening is happening very fast. So what does all this mean? It means lot more work in less time, and lot more skill to do those complex tasks. So in this context, I would like to share today with you a very interesting research that is going on in the world. United States has created, and I would say interdisciplinary force across universities like Harvard, Kellogg's and couple of other institutions, MIT, and it's called Energy Project. It is doing research that globally why engagement levels are going down when it comes to employees. When I go abroad and I meet people from business schools, the first thing that makes very striking, probably they don't have so much of theoretical knowledge, but they have immense amount of exposure and experience in the sense the field that they are going into. You can talk to them on their subject and you will not even realize for a minute that you are talking to a student. Probably they have more information, more depth than people like me have with 20 years experience. And the other thing that's very striking is the level of fitness that they have, the level of energy that they have, which is very, very important to do anything in life. So now, what does sports do? Some of the research what I have done, I have kind of concised that for you. Sports helps you to develop a sense of commitment. When you go, that's the reason that I asked you that question. How many of you go out and play every day? Just like you have to come to the college and study, it requires a certain amount of commitment. Going out and playing every day also requires enormous amount of commitment, because you have to take time out, you have to fix a time, and that means you have to plan your entire day, which very few of us do. The other thing is that it gives confidence. So sports actually teaches us to be committed to what we are doing. You don't go out and play if you don't like football, or if you don't go out and play if you don't like cricket. You do what you do, you like what you do, and do what you like. So that's something that sports, composure. One of the things that behavioral psychologists are talking today is that we become agitated or irritated with very small difficulties. Believe it or not, you have access to the same information, same knowledge that somebody sitting in an institution anywhere in the world has. The question is not whether you have that or not, but what you do with that information. Where we are lacking here is to build a network to help each other collaborate and develop that knowledge.